So today's presentation will be on Duolingo, and Duolingo is a program that you can learn new languages for free. So now I will be explaining what this presentation will be covering. First, I will be talking about what Duolingo is and its purposes. Then, how to use Duolingo on different devices, creating an account on the website as well as the app, how to use Duolingo and its main features, the differences between the app and the website, tips for using Duolingo, and lastly, some related apps. So first, what is Duolingo? Duolingo is a platform where you can learn new languages. It is scientifically proven to be the most effective way to learn a new language. The most popular languages are learned on this learning program. And it is the most downloaded educational app worldwide. There are 300 plus million learners, 35 plus available languages, and it is 100% free. So these are some things you might want to keep in mind. What languages are available on Duolingo? So as I said before, there are many languages available, and this list does not cover all of them, but these are just some of the most popular ones. So English, Spanish, French, German, Japanese, Dutch, Greek, Turkish, Italian, Korean, Irish, Portuguese, Mandarin, Russian, Swedish, and many more. Purposes of Duolingo. Duolingo makes it easier and more fun for people to speak different languages. It is designed like a game to make learning more effective and fun. It helps to prepare people for real-life simple conversations, and people who are traveling can communicate better with the people living in the country they're in. Device availability. Duolingo can be accessed on computers, smartphones, as well as tablets. There is a website and there's also an app. Having an account allows you to save progress and sync your devices. So if you log in on your phone, you can also log in on your computer, and the same information will be on both of them. So first, I will be covering using Duolingo on a computer. So Duolingo is available on Macs and PCs. Though on computers, you must use your web browser to access Duolingo. There is not an app available on your phone, on the computer. Then you will have to go to www.duolingo.com to find the homepage. So you will just type that into the search bar. So how do you create an account? First, go to www.duolingo.com. Then there are two options. You can either click on I already have an account or Get Started. So you can see to the right, the green button will signify that you are new to Duolingo and you want to create an account. And the one below that will say that you already have an account and will take you to the sign-in page. If you have an account, you can sign in. If not, get started. Then you can select the language you would like to get started with. The next step is to choose the reason you want to learn the language. This just gives Duolingo a better idea of what their users are using it for. So some examples of the reason you might be learning it could be family and friends, school, culture, job opportunities, brain training, travel, and other. So you can just quickly choose one of those options that fits you best. Next, you will be choosing your daily goal. There are a few different categories you can choose when you are setting up your account. You may want to be casual and spend only 5 minutes a day, or maybe regular and spend 10 minutes a day. There is also some more serious availabilities. So it will be serious for 15 minutes, or it can also be intense for 20 minutes a day. Note, each goal has a different time commitment, but you can change it at any time in the settings. So Duolingo recommends to use the regular time limit per day because it just gives you a good sense of practicing every day, practicing enough every day, and making sure that you're getting the knowledge into your brain. But you can always do just casual if you're just maybe using it for a hobby. And if you are really looking to learn the language quicker, you can go for serious or intense. So here are the next steps after you have selected that. You will be prompted to select your experience that you have with the language. So there will be two options. One will be that you have spoken or learned it in the past and you are familiar with it, or you may be brand new. Then you will complete a short introduction lesson. So it will be a quick lesson and it has the same setup as other lessons on Duolingo, but it is more of a just easy getting into and learning a little bit of knowledge about the language. And then when prompted, you can click create a profile and fill out the information, which does make using Duolingo much easier, as I said before, because you can sync your devices and save your progress. Note, you can also sign up with Google as well as Facebook if that interests you. Next is using Duolingo. You now will have an account after you followed those steps. You can log in on any device that you have the app on or the website. Your information and progress will be saved within the account, and others cannot access your private information. So it is definitely a secure program, and nobody will be able to find any information about you other than maybe your username or your email, if that's how they choose to find you. And I will talk about that more in the friends section of the presentation. So now I will be discussing the main features of Duolingo. So as you can see on the screen, there's a small bar right below where it says main features with a few icons. And this shows, the different parts of the website. So it is actually taken from the website to kind of simulate what the website looks like. So the first section I will be talking about is Learn, and it is outlined in the green box in the small bar. So the learning page is the home page of Duolingo. Here you can see which lessons you have completed and ones that are coming up. You can also select lessons you want to complete and even review previous ones. So to the right, you can see a small screenshot with a few circles. One of them has color and the others do not. And these are what the lessons look like. So there are many different lessons. Some examples are the introduction lesson, the travel lesson, and then there's also a phrases one, but there are many, many more. The next main feature I will be discussing is the Stories feature. You can find this by clicking the small book icon with stories beside it, as you see outlined in green. Here, you can find mini stories. These stories earn you experience points known as XP on Duolingo, and by completing the stories, you can unlock more sets and more stories. This section is a great way to challenge your reading comprehension and listening comprehension in the new language. The next main feature is Discuss. You can find this by clicking on the Discuss button in the menu bar. Duolingo Language Forums is a place where you can join popular or new discussions with other learners. Here, you can subscribe to multiple language groups, as well as creating your own posts. Note, you must verify your email to post a new thing from yourself, and you'll be sent the email verification straight to your inbox. So the Discuss forum is a great way to connect with others and talk about the language that you're learning or about anything else. And to the right, you can see this is an example of what your subscriptions could look like. So there's Duolingo in English, Spanish from English, and then troubleshooting in English. So there's many different things that you can join based on what you're interested in talking about. The next main feature is Shop. Duolingo has a virtual currency, and it is known as lingots. It is not real, so it has no worth in real life. So you can earn them by leveling up, finishing a skill, or having a 10-day streak of completing the daily goal. And from there, you can then go to the shop to buy power-ups. So some examples of power-ups are Streak Freeze or Double or Nothing. So these are just kind of fun game-like things that you can do, you can get with the lingots you earn, and just make it more like a game if you're interested in that. The next main feature is More. Here, you can find and join online events. As well, you can find podcasts and access to a dictionary for translations. And lastly, you can see the words that you have learned. So this is more just a few extra things that Duolingo offers. Next is the language category. So you will see the language category in the top menu bar along with the other features, and it will be the flag of whichever language you are learning. So this one is taken from Spanish, so this is the flag that represents that. And once you click on that, you can switch between language courses as well as add more languages. So some other features are a few extra things that Duolingo has. So up in this right corner, you can see the crowns that you have, which is basically part of the game. It allows you to get more crowns once you complete levels. And then you can also see your streak, which is just how many days you've completed your daily goal in a row. As well, you can see the number of lingots you have. So that's just some of the more fun game items that you can find up in the top menu bar. And the last section is the account section. So here you can find your personal profile, the settings, Free Plus, which I will be talking about in more depth later on. But basically, it allows you to invite friends to get 1 week free for Duolingo Plus. So I'll be explaining that later on. You can also enter the Help Center, which is a place where you can ask any questions you have and find answers to questions that are asked often. As well, you can simply log out by clicking the Log Out button. So next, I will be talking about using Duolingo on a smartphone or a tablet. So as I mentioned before, Duolingo can be accessed on smartphones and tablets. But this time, unlike computers, there are two different ways that you can get on. Either you can search www.duolingo.com on your web browser, or you have another option of downloading the app, which is recommended because it is much easier to use and you do not have to open up your search every single time to get to the website and then log in. So to get the app, you simply just search up Duolingo in the App Store if you have an Apple device, or the Google Play Store for Android devices. So now I will be going through step by step of how to get the app. So first, you go to the App Store or the Google Play Store. Next, you can search Duolingo. Then you will have the option to either click Get or Download. So click that button. Then, after waiting a few moments for the app to download onto your device, you can open up the app. Then you can click Get Started or Sign In. And from there, you will basically follow the same steps as if you were on the website, though there are some differences. And I will explain those soon. So just a few notes about creating an account. So creating an account on your phone or tablet in the app is very similar to a computer, though there are some differences. Creating an account on the website with a smartphone or tablet is the exact same as a computer. So no matter which device you are on, the website will be the exact same. Note, you may have to turn your phone sideways to see the entire top menu bar on a phone because it does have a smaller screen. Now, these are the differences of the computer versus the phone/tablet. So first, allowing notifications. On the app, there will be an option to allow or not allow notifications. Second is the menu bar and feature locations. So the menu bar has a different setup compared to the computer, and this is just because the website is different from the app. So I will be showing you more about the different setup and to show you exactly where to find the different things as if you were on a website. And then lastly, the discussion forums. So the discuss section is not available on the app. And if you're interested in doing this, you will have to go onto the website. So the main features on a phone. The app has many of the same features as the website, including Learn, Stories, Shop, Languages, and as well the point system. They are simply organized differently. So as you can see from this screenshot to the right, the locations of the features are slightly different. So on the top, you will find the language section, and then the crowns, streak, and lives, which is more part of the game. And then on the bottom, you will see that the learn section, the story section, personal profile section, shop, and achievement section is on the bottom menu bar instead of it all being along the top as if it was on the website. So as I mentioned briefly before, you are able to connect with friends through Duolingo. And it is very easy to connect and have fun. You can find friends through Facebook, sending invites, or you can search their names or emails in the small search bar. So if you're on the website, the way to find this section is going to the Learn page, and this is the place where you will see all of the circles of the lessons that you're doing. And if you just scroll down a little bit, it will be on the right-hand side, and it will look like this first screenshot here with the arrow pointing at it from the website. So this is where you can find friends on a computer or if you're using it on the phone or tablet. And then for the app on the tablet or phone, all you need to do is go to the profile section, which you can find in the bottom menu bar with the person with the purple hair. It is also outlined. And then you will just scroll down a little bit to find the Friends section and click on Find Friends. Next is the settings. So the settings is definitely important if you are interested in changing anything about your account. So the first section is the account section. Here you will find your username, email, profile picture, and also your personalized settings. This may be your sound settings, listening exercises and speaking exercises, personalization, and other things. There's also a language setting, and then there's also the profile section where you can see your profile name and your biography that you've written for yourself. Then there's also a password section of the settings where you can change your password. Then you will also see a Connect Facebook or Google if you would like to connect the accounts together. And there's also a Duolingo Plus section of the settings. Next is the notifications. Here you can see events coming up, daily reminders, and email notifications. So you can specify what you want to be emailed and notified for. Then there's also a coach section, which is basically just where you change your daily goal, which is how long you spend on the app per day to achieve the daily amount. There's also progress sharing available if you are joining a classroom, as well as feedback and privacy. So this is about where to find the settings. So on the website, all you need to do is click the account icon at the top of the menu bar, which is the blue circle, or it will be your profile photo. You will then click on that and click the settings part in the drop-down menu. Or if you're on the app, you will go into your personal profile, which is the purple-haired icon, and then you will click the gear in the top right corner. So as one of the few last slides, I will be going into more about Duolingo Plus. So just before I start talking about it, it is not necessary to have Duolingo Plus, but if you're interested in it, it is definitely an option, but it doesn't change what information and material you get. It simply removes ads. It also allows you to download lessons to do offline. So for example, if you are taking public transit or you're going on a trip and you don't want to use your cellular data for it and you don't have Wi-Fi, it allows you to download the lessons that you are planning to do in advance so you can keep learning. It also allows you to have endless lives, which means that you can make endless mistakes without having to wait a certain amount of time. As well, it does support their mission, which is to have free education worldwide. And the cost is as follows: $13.49 per month, $63.99 for 6 months, or $105.99 per year. There is also a 7-day free trial available if you just want to try it out. So here are some tips that you can keep in mind while you're using Duolingo. First is the lives. The website does give you endless lives, but if you are using the app, you will be only given 5 lives. This is with the exception of Duolingo Plus, which will give you endless lives. Having 5 lives means that you can only make 5 mistakes. Then you would have to wait for more to load. This may be very annoying for some people. So if you are running out of lives and you want to keep practicing, you can always move to the website. Second is that you should always sign in if you have an account, because this just makes it much easier to use Duolingo and it will sync your progress. Next is to practice daily. Even a few minutes makes a difference. So no matter how long you spend, even if you're just getting your brain to focus on it for a few minutes, it will make a difference in learning a new language. The next is to read out loud and use audio. So you can listen to other people pronouncing it and then speak back to it if that would interest you, because it does definitely help to make the learning more useful, and it will make it easier for you to remember things. And also, just always remember, don't rush, because the more time you spend just going through it and taking your time, the more information that you will be able to keep in your mind. And lastly, you can always connect with friends to make it a more fun experience if that interests you. So the last thing I just wanted to touch on is some apps that are related to Duolingo. So maybe for anybody that you know, or if you have grandkids or anything like that, this might interest them. So there is Duolingo for Kids. The first option is Duolingo ABC. This is a fun, hands-on way for kids to learn to read. There are no in-app purchases or ads to worry about. So you can find this on the app and Google Play stores if that interests anybody you would know. And then there's also Duolingo Kids available, which is just Duolingo for younger kids, and it teaches kids French, Spanish, and or English in a fun way. So it's very similar to Duolingo, but it's more for younger kids. Okay, so now I will be moving on to a live demonstration to give you more of an understanding about how to use the actual website. So I will be giving the demonstration on a computer because I just felt that it was a more general way to show you the program, and it's very easy to access the website from any device. So first, how I found this page, all you need to do is type in www.duolingo.com into your search bar. Then you will be able to see this page. Here, you can change the site language by clicking this downwards arrow if you want, if your main language is a different language. So this will make it so that all the instructions and things like that are in the language that you are speaking. From there, you can either click Get Started or I already have an account. So I'm just going to quickly show you what would happen if you click I already have an account. So here it would just take you to the login page. So you type in your email and your password, or you can also sign in with Facebook or Google. From here, you can either click the X or click the sign up button to get to the Get Started page. So by clicking Get Started, you will enter the process to creating your Duolingo account. So first, it will ask you what you want to learn. Just for this example, I am going to use Spanish. As I mentioned before, it will now ask you why you are learning the language. So personally for me, I want to learn a language for school. So I'm just going to click that. And then you can also allow or block notifications here. Now you will be able to create your daily goal, as I mentioned before, with the different time limits. So I'm just going to go with regular because that is what makes me feel comfortable. And from here, you can click whether you are new to the language or you already have some knowledge with the language. So I'm going to say that I'm new to Spanish. Then it'll take you to an introduction lesson. which I will not be doing right now. So you can click that X to get out of it. And then from here, you can create a profile or sign in. Here, you can enter your information, including age, name, email, and password, or you can also create an account with Facebook or Google. And after you're done filling out the information, you can just click this blue button. But I'm going to log into my account because I already have an account. So this is what it would look like once you are into your personalized Duolingo account. So first, this is the Learn section, as I mentioned in the presentation, and this is where you can see all of your lessons. So these lessons are the circles with small pictures inside, and the ones that are gold are the ones that I have already completed. And if you see small cracks in them, that means that you just need to review them again. So you do a short review lesson and it will say that you've completed it. But then you can also find many new ones below and find one that interests you. You can also see your daily goal progress, as well as finding your friends, as I mentioned before. So you can find friends on Facebook, send an invite, or search them up. So this is on the right of the Learn page. So the next section is stories. All you need to do is click the stories at the top of the menu bar. So here are some stories that are available for me. So you can just use any of these to practice your reading and listening comprehension. And then you can also unlock ones that are further down after you are finished that. The next section is the Discuss section. Here is the language forum I was talking about. So you can see a few of these popular ones where you can see how many comments there are and just see what it's about. You can also click New Post, and you will be able to post something for others to see. You can also search up different forums and see your subscriptions here. The next section is the shop. So as I was talking about before, this is the place where you can use your lingots that you've earned to buy new power-ups or items, as well as more practice. So this is just a fun way to use the app as a game, if that interests you. And then this is the More section at the top. You can see this by clicking the circle with the 3 dots inside of it. And you will see that there is events, podcasts, dictionary, as well as words. So the events is a place where you can see the details of online events coming up. And there's many, many events going on, especially with COVID, because there's much more virtual kind of connection. So you can see all the events and just different events, and also changing the language it is in. There's also the option to apply to be a host of the online event. So you can click the Apply to Host button to do that. The next section in More is the podcast section. So here you can see many articles about different things. And you can also click on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or Spotify, and this will take you directly to a page with Duolingo podcasts. So from there, you can also find a dictionary, which can be very useful. So here you can find different languages that you want to translate into English, or whatever your sight language is that you've set. So if I wanted to do from German to English, I would either type in German or English and then translate it. There's also a section where you can see the words that you've learned. as well as the different categories that they're in and when you practice them, and how strong you are with them. So this could be useful for people that are looking to know how well they know certain words. The next section is the language section. So this is the flag icon that you can click. So right now I am learning Spanish, but there's also an option to add a new course. So just by clicking that, you can click another one that you want to do. So I want to learn Russian. And you can just start this course by clicking this blue Start Course button. This will then take you into a Russian lesson plan, and it will be a different set of lessons available from the Spanish ones. Then you can always go back to your other language, and you are able to only see the course that you've just added if you've completed even just one lesson, because it's not going to save if you just added a new course. You're going to have to at least do one small lesson to make it show up in this bar here. Then you can see the crowns, which is the things that you receive when you level up your skills, the streak that you have, and then the amount of lingots you have. So here, when you click on your profile photo, so mine is not just the blue circle because I do have a photo. You can see all of your notifications lined up here, and then to see all of them, you just click the See All button. And then this is the account section I was talking about. So you can see your profile, as well as your settings, the help center, which can be very useful, where you can type your questions and then see other people's questions. You can also log out by clicking the log out button. So now I will just be finishing off the demonstration by talking about the settings. So here on this side on the right, you can see the different parts of the settings. So this includes account, learning language, profile, password, notifications, coach, progress sharing, as well as privacy. So I described what each of these categories entails briefly in the presentation, but you can basically just see some main things that have to do with your account. So here you can see the username and your email, and you can also see your personalized controls with sound effects, motivational messages, speaking exercises, and listening exercises. So you can just turn these off by just clicking the button and making sure it is gray, and then clicking Save Changes. Next is the learning language section, and this just shows which language courses you're doing. The next section is your profile. So you can just put your name, and if you'd like to, you can add a location and a biography. And you can also connect your Facebook account. Here is where you can change your password. So you would just have to put in your current password and then a new password. The notification section basically allows you to choose when you want them to email you, and then also your Duolingo reminders. So this is basically just a section that is very personal to you and what you want to get out of it. So if you want them to send you a reminder, you can always turn that on here. And then this section is where you can choose what you're doing with the amount of time and your daily goal. So if I wanted to go from casual to intense, I would just click that and then Save Changes. And here XP just represents the amount of points you would need per day to complete your goal. Next is the progress sharing. So if you're in a classroom, you would just type in your classroom code and join that classroom to connect with your classmates and your teacher. And lastly, you can make your profile public. So this allows others to find you, and allows you to follow others. So if you are not comfortable with anybody being able to find you, which basically just means that they're able to see your username and email, if that's how they found you. So if you told somebody your email to add you on Duolingo, then they would be able to find you. So if that doesn't make you comfortable, you can always turn that off. And then you can enable discussion forum, which allows you to discuss in the discuss section, and then personalized ads, which basically comes up with ads that are personal to you. And then just click Save Changes. So I think that I'm on a free trial for the Duolingo Plus right now, so that's why there's no ads, but there would usually be more ads if you're just on normal Duolingo. So that concludes the